Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I've got two questions for you today. The first one is, where have you come from? And the second is, where are you going? They're funny questions, aren't they? It's like when you get asked at school, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or in an interview, tell us about your background and where do you see yourself in 5 years' time or 10 years' time? Funny questions. But how often do we really take the time to think about the answers for ourselves? These two questions were asked by an angel of the Lord, an angel of Yahweh in the Bible, asked these questions to a girl. This was no ordinary girl. She was running away from home. She was unwanted, unloved, mistreated, pregnant and alone. She was treated like a slave at home. So fearful and fed up, she did the only thing she could think of to make her situation better, or at least to make a difference. She ran away. And sometimes we can feel so trapped in a situation that the only reasonable thing to do, it seems to be, is to run away. And our situations might not be extreme enough to make us physically run away, but how many of us can relate to feeling so underappreciated or unwanted, unsupported at work or at home? How many of us can relate to feeling invisible? Like nobody really sees us or sees what we're going through. Nobody really cares. Do you ever feel like the friend who is always checking in on everybody else, but there's nobody there to check in on you, to make sure you're doing okay? You just feel left out. Even in a crowd of people, lockdown permitting, or a house full of people, it's easy to feel alone. It's easy to feel abandoned by the people who should be looking after you. With the girl in the Bible, she was probably at rock bottom. She ran away into a desert, and that shows how desperate she was, because I don't know many pregnant women who would happily trek into a desert. But I think it's relatable. Have you ever found yourself mentally wandering through the wilderness, or spiritually or emotionally in a desert, hungry, thirsty, in desperate need of rescue, starved of life, crying out, or just going through the motions of existing without actually really fully living? Back to our girl. The angel found her in a desperate state and asked her those two questions. Where have you come from, and where are you going? It's really important to reflect on our past, because it's our past and the experiences that we go through that really shape who we are as people. But it's also important that we have a future to look forward to, a future we can hope for. The angel provided this girl with a safe space, a willing ear to listen. The angel provided her with comfort and with hope, with encouragement. But what I want to focus on and what I want to talk about is what's missing in this story, what the angel didn't do. The girl shared all her troubles, but the angel didn't snap his fingers and magically make everything better. The girl didn't suddenly have a complete change of heart and unlimited patience and tolerance for her situation. She didn't turn into a saint overnight. Sometimes all we want is for God, for Yahweh to wave a magic wand and fix everything for us. Fix how we're feeling. Fix whatever we think is wrong in our lives, or fix those around us. To make your boss at work suddenly realize how much effort you put in and how hard you've been working, and give you an instant pay rise to recognize that fact. For your customers to always treat you with kindness and respect. To your friends and family and neighbors to really recognize everything it is that you do for them and show you how much they love and appreciate you. And sometimes that is how Yahweh works, an instant difference. But often it's not. Sometimes it seems like nothing has changed at all. The girl went back home, back to the life she was so desperate to run away from, and we don't know if anything got better for her. But we do know that something important happened before she went back. The thing that had the greatest impact on this girl was that someone had seen her, really seen her worries and cared, seen her pain and struggle, and gave her direction. And Genesis 16:13 says, "And she gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her, 'You are the God who sees me.'" You are the one who sees me. No matter how alone you feel, please know there is always someone who sees you. Someone wonderful, with a heart full of love and mercy. The same God who cared enough to meet that unloved girl in the desert cares enough to meet with you, whatever your situation. You don't have to run away to meet with him. He sees you. He loves you, he appreciates you, and he wants you right now. And even if it feels like your situation hasn't changed at all, know that Yahweh is with you, and Yahweh is for you, and he will never abandon you. And now I want to speak specifically to the church, to those who already know the Savior and already feel his presence in your lives. What has this story got to teach you? You've heard it all before. You know all this already. Well, church, let me ask you, where are you going? What road are you traveling on? Are you living fully in Yahshua, or are you just existing? This story is from Genesis 16, and the girl's name was Hagar. But there are some scholars that believe Hagar isn't actually a name. It's a descriptive label, and the word Hagar is said to mean stranger. And so, church, isn't it written in Matthew 25 that when the King of Heaven comes in all his glory, he will celebrate those who saw me as a stranger and invited me in? And when they ask, when did we see you as a stranger and invite you in? The answer is this: whenever we do anything for anyone in Yeshua's name, it's like we're doing it for him. When we show that love, that mercy, that kindness to strangers, to Hagar, to the girl that nobody wanted and nobody loved, we are showing love to the King of Heaven. It's so easy to feel helpless when we look at the problems that exist today. How do you comfort someone who's grieving? How do you find the words? How do you know what to do? What can you do to make things better? Well, sometimes Yahweh will tell you exactly what to do, and he'll give you the perfect words to say. But sometimes all he wants from you is for you to show up and be there. So whether it's to a friend or a neighbor, a family member, a colleague, or a stranger, please be the one that sees the person who feels invisible. Be the eyes that see someone struggling, and be the hand that helps them up and helps them out. Be the ears who listen to someone who needs to talk. Be the voice that offers hope to someone in distress. That's all Hagar needed. Someone to see her, to hear her, to accept her. Yahweh didn't send us out to fix every problem we see. He sent us out to love like Yeshua did. So, may this song be our prayer. Let me be the one to show love to those without love. Let me be the one you want me to be, so that they can see you in me.